see you. Good and wonderful. When I lost it, yeah, you held my hand, but I tossed it. Didn't understand you were waiting. I've done too wonderful. So say Geronimo, say Geronimo, say Geronimo, say Geronimo, say Geronimo, say Geronimo, say Geronimo. Can you feel?
Hello everyone, I'm Sean Key, Vice President of Salesforce Motivation and Education at Mary Kay Corporate, and welcome to our Google Hangout. We are so thrilled that you've chosen to take time out of your life to learn more about the Mary Kay opportunity. You know, our founder, Mary Kay Ash, was a woman on a mission 53 years ago, and that mission was to enrich women's lives. In 2016, we are still on that same mission with an independent sales force of over 3.5 million beauty consultants worldwide in over 35 countries who sell our products and share this amazing opportunity as owners of their own Mary Kay businesses. Mary Kay Ash was so wise because she knew women were more likely to spend time and money helping others instead of helping themselves. So she created a company that was based on women earning money and investing time by helping others look and feel great. The good news is that we're a multi-billion-dollar company, so your decision tonight is not likely going to impact our bottom line, but it could be the investment of a lifetime for you and your family. For us, it's not about money and time. It's about you having a vehicle to live your best life. We know that life is moving at a fast pace and it's changing moment by moment. We know that sometimes there's more month than money and more to do than what's done. We know that saying yes to this means saying no to something else. We know that it's easier to live a good enough life than it is to live an abundant life. We know that for many people, big dreams are a luxury that they don't take time to prioritize. But we also know that good enough is the enemy of excellence, and that staying the same is the new failure. We know that doing the same thing and expecting different results is insanity, and we know that God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. So what we're going to do is share the journeys, the lives of three amazing leaders, all with different backgrounds and different stories and different journeys in their Mary Kay businesses, but they've reached the pinnacle of success in our company. And to kick things off, I want you to meet National Sales Director Tammy Crayk.
Well, good evening, and thank you so much, Sean. We're thrilled about having our first ever virtual guest event, and I just want to say thank you so much to the guests that are joining us tonight. You know, if you're a guest on this Hangout, it means that you are just here to support your consultant, and she probably called you and asked you, you know, if you could listen in, and we really build our businesses. There's two ways that we build our businesses, and we set goals in the beginning of every year, of every month, and just now, starting the month of April, your beauty consultant has made some goals to have a certain number of people try the product and give their honest opinion of how it compares to what they're using. And she's also set a goal to how many people she's going to share this business opportunity information, and that's why we're here tonight. So if you're listening in just to help her out with a goal that she is working on, we welcome you, and we are excited to hear your feedback on this first ever virtual guest event that we've done. Some of you are looking for a way to make something better in your life, and you may hear that very something tonight. We believe that everybody, men and women in this day and age, have dreams in their heart for more of something for their families and for their lives. And we just happen to believe that we have the product and the business opportunity that can make those dreams come true. So this evening, we're excited to share with you two of my very good friends, and Mary Kay will be sharing a little bit also, but we just want to take you through a little journey of why we do what we do and why we love this business so much. And my journey started back 22 years ago in January. I was at a Barbra Streisand concert in Las Vegas and literally ran into a friend of mine who, strangely enough, lived about 7 minutes from me in Salt Lake City, Utah, but we ran into each other after many, many years in Las Vegas, Nevada on New Year's Eve. That was such a strange coincidence, but that's really when my journey began, because she'd been in Mary Kay for about 6 years at that time. She was doing really well, and I was a stay-at-home mom raising a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I loved my life. I honestly did not come into Mary Kay for the money, for the car program, for the prizes. The only reason I started this business was because I wanted more fun in my life. I wanted some friends and fun, and Mary Kay looked like a girlfriend's club that I wanted to belong to. So I was in a position back then that I would never probably have had to work to put food on the table or a roof over my family's head for the rest of my life. I was married to a great guy who made incredible income, and I was privileged really to be a stay-at-home mom. But when I heard all that Mary Kay had to offer, as I said, the friends and the fun and really the grown-up sorority that you got to be in was what motivated me. And when I came into the business, I saw so much more. And I got very excited about the opportunity for personal growth, honestly. And they had contests and challenges, and here I was, this very happy stay-at-home mom, not needing really the income per se, but just excited about having, you know, just something to look forward to and something to grow in myself. And it caught on very quickly, because within 4 months of starting my business, I did earn the use of my first Mary Kay car. And that was like a banner day. And really what happened to me that day was more about what this business opportunity could offer people I knew than even for myself. I thought, my gosh, if I can earn the use of this car on working really from home 15 hours a week, because that really was my Mary Kay schedule then, anybody can do this. And I got very excited about the opportunity to enrich other people's lives through this opportunity. Well, fast forward several years, and I ended up becoming an independent sales director with Mary Kay, so I could mentor other people to build successful businesses. And I loved the journey through that sales director position. We were able to grow so many lives and really enrich families, you know, bring moms out of the workplace that wanted to be home with their kids, and, you know, really when they were making an equal amount of income to what they'd been making working in the corporate world. And that was really gratifying. And so the story went on, and just, you know, sometimes our why that we came into Mary Kay does change. And I want you to know that when I, after I'd been in Mary Kay for about 20 years, I had celebrated my 50-year-old birthday, and shockingly enough, had a big surprise in my life, and that was that I ended up getting divorced. And that never was something I ever in a million years thought would happen to me. And so my why for being in Mary Kay changed overnight. I really sat in quite a shock thinking, what if I had not come into this incredible business opportunity 2 years ago? Where would I be now? You know, I would have been a 50-year-old woman at the time without a college degree, with no work experience for over 20 years. I mean, really, who would have hired me? So my mission today and my why behind what I do and why I get up every day to joyfully work my business is because I am on a mission to help women understand that it's important to be financially independent so that you can prepare for the day if it ever comes when your life takes a dramatic turn. Because 22 years ago, I had the world by the tail and thought, you know, my life was that Cinderella story that I'd always dreamed of, and it really was. But 20 years later, finding myself single and out there in this big old world by myself, I was so grateful that someone had brought this business opportunity to me and encouraged me. Many, many people encouraged me along the way to never quit and never stop. And when I woke up that day single and was able to, I mean, of course I was emotionally devastated, but not financially. I was able to go out that very week and buy a brand new home and pay cash for it because of the income that I had grown and I continue to enjoy through my Mary Kay business. I was able to call it, an interior decorator and ask her to just completely fill the home with new furniture and furnishings. And, I had to pinch myself thinking, what if I had just settled for, how my life started out? Where would I be today? So my message to everyone listening, and especially to our guests, is to take a good look at your life and ask yourself, do you have a plan B if you ever should need it in your life? And if not, Mary Kay could be that plan B. And most recently, what I'm really excited to share with all of our guests tonight is, as a single mom, this year when my daughter, that 8-year-old little girl, she was 8 when I started my business. She turned 30 this year, and for her 30th birthday, it was a joy to be able to pay cash for the trip of her dreams. So now, not only am I making my own dreams come true, but for all these years, been able to do amazing things for my friends and my family. And what a joy to be able to take my daughter on that trip to Europe. We went to Greece and where else did we go? Turkey and Italy on a wonderful cruise, and didn't have to put it on a credit card, paid cash for it. And I'm so grateful for the financial stability, financial security that allows me to do those type of things and to contribute to the charities that are so, so important to me. So thank you, Mary Kay Cosmetics, and thank you to the guests that are listening tonight. I hope something that each of us says inspires you to know that you can do and have and become whatever you choose to in your life as well. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my dear friend, Leah Carta, to share a little bit about her story with you as well.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Leah Carta, and I'm actually here in Fort Worth, Texas with my good friend Cecilia, and you guys will hear from her in just a second. But what I want to talk to you tonight is about value-based living, because when I was thinking about, gosh, what is my why story? What was the thing? It's really changed over the last 11 years that I have been an independent Mary Kay beauty consultant. When I started my business, I was 20 years old with no intention of having children anytime soon. I was in corporate America, really thought I knew what I wanted, and then I started getting kind of a taste of corporate America, and I'm someone that thrives in choices. And I can remember my grandpa, we thought he was having a stroke, and I can remember my boss literally telling me, you cannot leave work to go to the hospital. And so things like that were starting to happen, and I just was like, gosh, there's got to be more to life. And on the flip side, I was seeing my friends that were starting their families, and they had every single intention of going back to work after the 6-week mark of having their babies, and then the 6 weeks would come just like that, and it was horrible for them. I mean, some of them were like, please take me back to work, but most of them were like, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss out on everything, and they didn't like that. And so, to be honest, I really started analyzing, what was my future going to look like. And so, long story short, I decided that I need to go into business for myself. And being 20 years old, there's not a bank that will give you a $200,000 to $300,000 loan to start a business. And so luckily Mary Kay didn't cost anywhere near that. And so that's when I decided to choose Mary Kay. I actually researched tons of direct selling companies, and I chose Mary Kay because I felt like they had the best marketing plan and the best future for me, selling a consumable product, and it's been around for so long, and so I decided to take that leap. And so I want to talk to you a little bit more about value-based living and what that has now looked like for my life. So Mary Kay, my good friend, National Sales Director Lily Gotro, she said to me one day, she said, Leah, the best thing about Mary Kay is that we get to have our cake and we get to eat it too. And it's so true. We really do. We get to be successful career women, but also be there for swimming lessons and karate and, whatever else comes our way. And so now, 11 years later, I am the mom of 3-year-old Lincoln, who's going on to 15. He's so crazy. And then I have an 8-month-old daughter who's teething like crazy. And so I love that I don't have to miss a thing, but at the same time, I'm able to contribute to my family. And I want to take just a second to talk about something called the Pinterest complex. And I don't know if this is a real thing or if I just made it up, but I see often so many times people are pinning their lives away. They're pinning their lives away. They're pinning garden projects that one day they want to be able to do. Or travel. I mean, how many of you have a travel board on your Pinterest of, of places you want to go, things you want to see? And I want to ask you, are you making those a reality on a consistent basis? And I want to tell you that the women who are independent business owners in Mary Kay, they are. They're doing the things they're pinning, and I think that's so awesome. An example that I want to give you is I've had a Pinterest board for several years for New Zealand. That is like, oh, my pie in the sky dream to go to New Zealand. And last week my husband walked in my office, took my date book, came back an hour later and said, hey, we're leaving in 2 weeks. I rented a camper van and we're going up and down New Zealand for 10 days, just you and I. And I was going crazy, like, what other life? So because of my Mary Kay business, we were able to retire him about 7 years ago, and he's actually in the process of starting a new company in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that my Mary Kay has financed. And so it's about to get busy for our family, and we decided to have this one last trip, just he and I, before business got busy for him. But how awesome that we didn't have to plan for 5 years. He just did it. And so I love the freedom, the things that Mary Kay offers to us. The other places that it's given me options is the ability to give my children the education that is important to me, to have those choices. When I was 20 years old, I wasn't thinking about that maybe one day I wanted to put them in this school or have them in this program. When my daughter was born, there was a lot of surgeries that she needed that insurance would not pay right away. And I can't tell you how many times I would look at my husband and say, thank God for my Mary Kay business, because we could write check after check after check and not have to worry about the timeline that it would take insurance to reimburse us. I mentioned my husband's business, making the things on my goal poster come true. To be honest, I didn't even know what a goal poster was prior to Mary Kay, and I think that's sad, because I think that's how a lot of Americans are living. They're just settling for the status quo, and they're just saying, well, I guess this is all life is cracked up to be. And the message that I want to get across to the guests today is that I believe that there is a dream buried deep inside of you. There is something in your heart's desire, and maybe it's something like, being able to buy land so your family could build a home, or maybe it's getting your children into a certain school that you just really, really wanted them to, but finances have been a hindrance for that. You only have one shot at this thing called life. My mom was 43 years old when she died of a brain aneurysm. And that's a huge part of my story. My Mary Kay business was able to take me away from my corporate job so that I could really be there for my family and support financially that situation. And the one thing that I learned is that at 43 years old, I always say that she was allowing other people to sing her song. She had a beautiful song to play, but she allowed so many other people to play that song because of choices she allowed for other people to make for her, and her own fear, her own insecurity. And so I wonder, gosh, if she just went for it. And so I just want to encourage you, maybe this opportunity is a vehicle for you. Maybe it's not, like for Cecilia, Tammy, and I, it's turned into our life's work and we love it. But maybe for you, it's a stepping stool. It's a little, stone in the creek to get to your next step that you're hopping to. But who knows? And so now I'm going to turn it over to my great friend who's here on spring break with me, National Sales Director Cecilia James.
Hello, everybody. Do we look like we're having fun? Yeah, spring break here, and this is what we do on spring break. We sit in Leah's she shed, and we just have fun with life. And so I'm National Sales Director Cecilia James from Atlanta, Georgia, and I've been building my Mary Kay business since I was 21 years old, and I'll just leave it at that. And I used to work for Learner. I'm sure all of you remember, well, not all of you maybe remember Learner, but now you may know it as New York & Company, which was one of my favorite clothing stores. It did me absolutely no good to work there because I spent my entire check every week on the clothes that were coming in. I was grabbing everything and using my 50% discount, and it didn't do me very much good to work there. But it did lead me to the path where I met the lady who changed my life forever, and it was a lady by the name of Joyce, and she walked in and gave me her business card and introduced me to the Mary Kay world, which was something that I knew absolutely really nothing about. And I can remember after hearing the facts that this was definitely something I wanted to be a part of. It changed my life forever. And she sat with me that day, and she dreamed with me. And she really taught me how to expand my vision and what I wanted for my life and the amount of money that I could actually be making. And I thought, you know what, why not?
Why not? And I'll tell you the truth. Mary Kay was the best self-improvement course that I ever got paid for. Everything that I know about anything in life, I learned in Mary Kay Cosmetics. I learned parenting skills, bounce back ability, goal setting, money management, how to treat people. Like, seriously, it was like a free life course. Would you agree with that?
Definitely.
It's like a free life course I got paid for, like more than I could have ever gained from college or anywhere else. And so it changed my life forever. And I'll share with you a few of the things that came out of my starter kit and my why. And the first two are my children. My daughter Mallory is actually here. She's actually in the other room, I think, watching us live. And this was what she wanted to do for spring break. She wanted to come and see Leah and take care of her babies. And when you have a 17-year-old who wants to come and take care of babies like on spring break, you know you did something right. Because in Mary Kay, we're surrounded by women of excellence, women who require you to be better than your best. And it's so hard to describe unless you're a part of it to understand how we think and how we do life, and just the difference in it's like a scarcity mentality versus an abundance mentality. Surrounding yourself with women who think abundantly and aren't in their negative world of, oh, it's Wednesday, I can't wait for Friday, and the humdrum life, and I can't wait for the weekend, and no one wants Monday to come. Listen, I'm excited about Monday morning. I love Monday morning because I spend Monday mornings with my sales directors on a conference call celebrating their wins and their successes from the last month. And so I love Monday morning. For me, it's an opportunity to get up and expand my vision, grow my dreams, and build my life. And I love every day. I think when you love your job, you never work another day in your life, and it makes every day fun, right? And so my daughter is here with me. That my son is back home working on his golf game, working to be a professional golfer, which, as we all know, costs a lot of money. And so my Mary Kay business has afforded me the opportunity to support his dream and to teach him how to dream and to push and to pursue what he really wanted to do. And my daughter is, of course, looking forward to turning 18 so that she can follow in my footsteps and become a Mary Kay sales director herself. And she's one of the brightest, most amazing, most beautiful young women that I know. And I'm so very proud of her. You know, the highest compliment I think that your child can pay you is to want to follow in your footsteps. And she definitely does. And so I'm thankful for Mary Kay and for the opportunity to have trained me up in this way and to give back to them. So just a few of the things that came out. The personal growth, the freedom and flexibility, you've heard a lot about that tonight already, but listen, when you do with every hour of every day, whatever you want to do, your life changes. Like, I can't even imagine going to work for somebody else now. Could you imagine, like, having to get up in an alarm clock and go to bed at a certain time so that you can wake up the next morning? I love the freedom to do with every hour of every day, whatever in the world I want to do, and I'm working hard to build my dream and not someone else's dream. I love helping women live their best life and inspiring women to find their passion and teaching people that, you know what, you got to fight for your dream. Things don't just happen, you guys. You got to make them happen. You've got to go after your best life. You've got to create it. You've got to find what you want and find that drive and that passion. And so these are a lot of the things that came out of my starter kit. I had no idea that 3 years ago a health situation was going to impose itself on my life, and it really kind of robbed me of 6 months of my life. As a young, healthy, adult, I had no idea I was going to find myself in this position, and I'm so thankful for my Mary Kay business because fortunately I had worked when I didn't know I really needed to work so that I could take some time off when I didn't know I was really going to need to take some time off. And the financial security that I had at that time as a new national sales director changed my life forever because it allowed me some choices in the way I decided to take my medical care. It allowed me some time off. And so, you know what, work when you can, because you never know when there's going to be a time when you can't work. And I'm so thankful that I invested in myself for the first 20 years of my business so that when the position presented itself that, I had a choice. I didn't have to worry if I was going to get a paycheck or if things were going to be okay. And it was a really tough 6 months for me. And actually it was a tough couple of years for me personally, and it needed a lot of money. And I had that. I had it because of the work that I had done and the business that I had built. And so just a few things that I love about my business. the chance to surround yourself with people, the abundance mentality, choices, becoming the very best version of myself, and being able to inspire women. It just doesn't get any better than that. So if you decide to join us on this journey, we would love to have you, and I'm going to turn it back over to Tammy.
Okay, am I back in? Can you hear me? Okay, good. Well, those are 3 really quick versions of our stories and what we love about this business. And, you know, really, if the guests are watching, your question might be this: not could I do Mary Kay? Would I be good at Mary Kay? You know, there's so many things that go through your mind when you hear about an awesome opportunity and people that have succeeded. And I want to address some of those things as we close this up. But the question that I want to encourage all of you to ask yourself is this: are you sick and tired of being sick and tired about anything in your life? Whether that is not having enough income to live the life that you want to live, or the life you want to provide for your family. Are you sick and tired of not having the money that you need to take your family on a vacation anywhere they want to go? Are you sick and tired of not being able to provide the schooling for the children that you have, and maybe even college educations for your children? What is it that you might be so tired of going without in your life? That's the real question, because this business opportunity, I have to say, is very, very simple. You know, we teach people to wash their face, honestly, to take good care of their skin, and but through this vehicle, we provide the type of lifestyles that you've heard the 3 of us share tonight. So my question for you is, are you 100% satisfied with where you are in your life, or are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? That's really the only question you need to answer. If everything is perfect and wonderful in your life right now, and there's nothing that we've discussed tonight that you need more of, congratulations, you've made some awesome choices along the way. But if you're one of those people that says, no, I am so not satisfied with where I am, I do want more, I need more, my family deserves more, then I hope that you will really continue to listen with an open ear, and that you will let your consultant know truly, how are you feeling in your heart about your life, not our stories, but about your life as it is right now. And you know, somebody once said to me, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And also that, Tammy, if you want more and you want different, you're going to have to be willing to do more and do different. And that is so, so true. If nothing changes, nothing changes. If we continue to keep doing what we're doing, we're going to keep getting exactly what we're getting. And if you're good with that, that's wonderful. If you're not, then I'm glad you're here listening tonight. So I just want to briefly run through the quick benefits. Normally I would take a little bit longer to go through this, but just briefly, why would anyone want to pick up a second part-time job with Mary Kay, or even switch careers and join our incredible company? Well, of course, the money is always a key factor when people decide to start a business, and we are very proud to be able to share with you that we do operate on a 50% profit, 50% commission. When we buy a product for $5 at cost from our incredible company, we are able to retail it for $10. So your profit in your pocket before any incidentals or expenses is a flat 50%, and that's not just on some lucky 100 people that started the company 53 years ago. It's everybody who comes in. I've been a Mary Kay 22 years. If you started your business with Mary Kay today, you would get the same exact discount on your product that I get on mine. And I don't know too many companies, actually I'm not aware of any, that just from day one offer that opportunity. There might be some, I'm just not aware of who they are. So 50% profit, you can make an awful lot of income, and you work when you want to work. You do as many parties and as many facials, and you build as many customers as you choose to. And so that's a very generous profit. If any of you have ever done anything with any type of sales before. Another benefit is just the praise and the recognition that we get for doing our job. Mary Kay Ash, the founder of our company, believes that you praise people to success. You praise people to success, because especially women are really good at beating ourselves up for what we do wrong. So our company focuses on all the things we do right, and when someone is praising you and giving you prizes and recognition for what you do right, then you're very, very motivated to do more and more right. When you're praised like that, your self-esteem and self-confidence grows in leaps and bounds. Excuse me. And for the women listening, I just want to say, this is another thing I learned along my Mary Kay journey, that if you don't have self-confidence and self-esteem, it's almost impossible for you to teach that to your children. And I did not want to raise children with low self-esteem and low self-confidence. So for that benefit, that has nothing to do financially with our business, but everything to do with the women that we've become and the mothers that we've been able to become to raise, our children with those qualities. The friends and the fun, I mentioned that's the main reason I came into Mary Kay. I would start all over from scratch again tomorrow. I would buy a brand new starter kit. I would do everything again, just for the friends and the relationships and the girlfriends club that I get to be part of. I'm so excited in just a couple of weeks to leave on an all-expense-paid trip that we've earned as national sales directors and join so many of my girlfriends, Leah and Cecilia and many, many more, on a cruise that we're going to Spain and Portugal. I mean, you guys, we live lives that we never even dreamed of because of our determination to build successful businesses. And the friends and the fun are worth every step I've taken in this business. The car programs, many of you are very aware that we have a car program. Our company gives us the opportunity to earn the use of career cars. And oh my goodness, my 13th car, I believe. I lose track. How sad is that I don't even know how many. But over the years, I think it's my 13th car will be arriving here any day now. And it's a brand new 2016 or 17 Escalade. Cadillac Escalade. I've driven free. I have driven, I haven't ever had a car payment in 22 years. I haven't bought a tire, a wiper blade, any repairs. They pay most of our insurance. It depends on your driving record and your age, so clean that up real quick. They pay taxes and licensing. I mean, the money that has saved my family, I calculated, was enough to put 2 children through college without any debt. I mean, just the car program. Talk about, tax advantages of owning a legitimate in-home business and just all of the different advantages of having your own business. And for me, it's being my own boss. Like Cecilia said, being able to schedule my day exactly how I want to schedule my day and not have to work in a cubicle or have somebody telling me what I can and cannot do and when I can and can't go on vacation. I mean, the list goes on. And finally, I'm really grateful that one of the benefits of our company is the abundance of education and training that we can receive. You are in business for yourself, but never by yourself. I mean, there are women that I have in my organization that have never even been inside of a bank themselves or balanced a checking account, and the life skills that you learn along the way are amazing. But I was a skincare person prior to Mary Kay, but I did not wear makeup, and I learned everything I know from my friends and my mentors in this business. So if you're just wondering, gosh, I'm just not the type, I'm here to tell you there is no type. I've got everyone from former lunch ladies in my organization to women with PhDs and everything in between. So there's no type. The type is the type of woman who's tired of not having what she deserves or being able to provide for her family the things that she wants to. So those are the main benefits of our business, among many, many more. But you may be having some extra questions about things, and that's what your beauty consultant is there for. And she has an independent sales director that can answer any additional questions that you have as well. But as we wrap this up, I just want to share just a few minutes of overcoming some fears and concerns that I have come across most people have when they're making a decision to start something new. First of all, I want to say this doesn't have to be a grandiose, giant decision. It truly is a $100 decision, because our starter kit, which Leah is going to show you a picture of, our starter kit to get started in this business is $100 plus your local sales tax and some shipping. And that kit right there, see the girl in the green dress sitting on the floor with some of her starter kit spread out in front of her. It comes with everything you need to start letting people sample the product. It even comes with educational DVDs inside and product brochures to show people, and full-size products in there that are valued at a retail value of over $400 normally. But this month, our company surprised us, and it was not an April Fool's joke. On April 1st, our company surprised us with an extra this month that they've not done as long as I've been Mary Kay. I've never seen our company do this promotion in 22 years, but they are giving you an opportunity this month to get extra product in your kit. And that is what you see in the bottom of the screen there, the bottom of the picture. It's a firming eye cream, and one of our Lash Love mascaras, a favorite product, and an eye primer. So that totals $59 in additional retail value in the month of April. No fooling, okay? So we were excited on April 1st when we got to see what we were able to offer new independent beauty consultants coming into the company just this month. That's a limited time offer. And then also you have an opportunity to get free shipping because, you know, depending on your first product order. So ask your consultant and her independent sales director for more information on that. But you know, you may be thinking at this point, my gosh, this sounds great. I want to live the lifestyles that Leah and Cecilia and Tammy talked about. I want to live the way Sean Key, you know, shared with a company that stands for all of the things that he mentioned. You may want to be part of this. We hope that you do. We are looking to grow and expand our U.S. Operation and the number of independent beauty consultants. We're really out to honor our CEO and our president of our company in a quest to double the size of our Mary Kay company here in the U.S., and you could be a big part of that. But you might be thinking, gosh, I would do it in a heartbeat. I just don't have the extra $100 right now. And to that I would say, find it. Find it. You're a woman. You're resourceful. If your children needed medication this evening and it was $100, you would find a way to get that $100. That $100 may not change your, you know, your life this week as far as taking it out of your current budget. You might have to cut back a little bit on groceries or something else, but it could change your life in the long run, like Leah and Cecilia and I have described. So find the $100, but if that's the only thing holding you back, be very honest with your consultant because she can help you work through that. The second thing I hear most often is, Tammy, I would do this. I definitely am sick and tired of being sick and tired, but I have no time. I'm just so busy. And I'm here to tell you, you're always going to be busy. Busy is not just a temporary condition. Busy is a lifestyle. If you're someone who is busy, it's just who you are. But are you busy being busy? Or are you busy building the life and the dream life that you want to live? There is a difference. If you can give us 2 to 5 hours a week, I promise you, it can change your life a week at a time. The next thing I hear is, gosh, I would do this, but I don't even know who I would talk to as potential customers. I just don't know any people. And that, my friends, was my biggest hang-up when I almost said no to Mary Kay 22 years ago. I was kind of reclusive. I stayed home a lot. I didn't have a lot of friends. And I tell you, my director at the time, her name is Julianne Nagel, she said to me, Tammy, if you have 5 people with skin that you know, and you trust me to mentor you, I can show you how to multiply that into hundreds. And you know what? I trusted her. I did exactly what she told me to do, and it did. Look what happened. So don't let that hold you back. Another thing people say to me is, I am going to do this. I want to be part of this Mary Kay Girlfriends Club, but let me tell you, now's just not the right time. There is never going to be the perfect time. For those of you that have children, did you do that at the perfect time? Oh, heavens no. We just have them, and then we figure out how to make life work around that, right? And there's no training manual that comes with the kids, for crying out loud. So do Mary Kay just a little bit, part-time, and don't wait for the perfect time. right, to get started, because it will never, ever come. Next thing people say to me is, Tammy, I know someone who did this and they failed. And that one really gives me kind of a sick stomach, because, you know, if we all went through life only doing things that worked perfectly for everybody, we wouldn't get very far. You know, would you interview all of your divorced friends if you were going to get married? Would you call all your divorced friends and find out, you know, what they thought about that? And, you know, it's just crazy to me that people base their decisions on, you know, something that somebody else didn't do well at. You know, I have a lot of friends that have gym memberships and they're not necessarily physically fit. Does that mean the gym doesn't work? No, it certainly doesn't, right? So kind of think about it from that perspective. If you know someone who's been part of an in-home business, or even Mary Kay, why would you base your fantastic future on, you know, something that didn't work for someone else? Mary Kay works, I promise you, when you work. And last but not least, when I really get to the bottom line of what holds people back who are sick and tired of being sick and tired and they really want changes in their lives, is fear. And I would just ask you to really dig deep and ask yourself, are these really the reasons that I would be hesitant to give this a try? Because maybe it's just fear. But I'll tell you something, I would be a lot more afraid of not living out my dreams than I would be afraid of trying something that I will have mentors right by my side to help me with. So with those different things that I've covered, if you are thinking this is something you might want to do, all you have to do is let your independent beauty consultant that invited you to be on this hangout know. And we, all three of us, Cecilia, Leah, and myself, and even Sean Key, the famous Sean Key, our good friend from Mary Kay Corporate Headquarters in Dallas, look forward to getting to know you and to knowing that you were on this hangout, and maybe this was that moment in time that changed your life. So I'm going to send it back to Leah now to tell you how you get entered in our free product drawings that we're doing tonight. So take it away, Leah.
Thank you so much, Tammy. First of all, I want to thank you so much for being our customer. You know, we realize as independent beauty consultants that you have choices in where you could buy your products from. And I want you to know that when you support an independent beauty consultant in her business, you're not supporting a big company. You're supporting a mother being able to afford karate lessons for her son. You're supporting women whose maybe their families need to be on special gluten-free diets and that grocery bill is larger than normal. You're supporting women who are trying to pay cash through college. You're supporting women who want to pay cash for their wedding. And so please remember that. And I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for your loyalty to your independent beauty consultant and for choosing our amazing products, because they really are amazing. Okay, so speaking of products, we have some product giveaways tonight, and so I'm going to give you some quick instructions on how to take advantage of that. So you're going to do two things. One is your beauty consultant should have given you a link. If she hasn't, just send her a quick message. And there's a link for a quick survey. Now I want you to know that your information is not going anywhere. It is strictly just so that we can draw and figure out who wins, okay? So you're just going to fill out quick information. We'll contact you if you're a winner. The second thing I want you to do is I also want you to reach out to your independent beauty consultant and let her know what you thought. So in the survey, it's going to ask you to select one of three letters. A is sign me up for $100. I so want to do this. Absolutely. B is buy me coffee. I definitely have some questions. I'm interested. I still don't know, but I have questions. And then C is I don't like free diamonds. I didn't like Tammy. I didn't like Leah. No, just kidding. C is I love being a customer, and I'm so excited that I now know more about Mary Kay. So again, from us to you, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and you all have an awesome rest of your week.